All right guys, in this video, I wanna go through exactly how you hire and train and keep a virtual assistant for the long run. All right, stick around till the end of this video because we got an offer of 20 free hours from a VA agency. Check it out. The first thing you want to really start with, right? I think everybody knows how to find virtual assistants, right? You either go to Upwork or you go to any kind of sites, you go to Facebook groups. I think the most important thing is to how you hire, right? And the interview is going to be the most important thing. That is either going to set you up for a long-term business relationship. Like I have people that work for me all over the world for like 5 years now, right? Just the same person. It's almost like family, right? It's amazing. And the good thing about it is we don't speak as much because we've working together for so long, you know? So they're so valuable to my company because they know about how my company works. So I could go ahead, I could switch them from departments, I could ask them to do things, I could ask them to check in. They know a lot about my company, right? So here's some takeaways that you want from an interview with a VA, right? The first thing you're gonna wanna do is you're gonna wanna ask them about their resume, right? Like, is this person jumping around, like freelancing from job to job? Are they usually working part-time shifts or are they looking for something full-time, right? Because if somebody says like, no, I want an hourly, I want a full-time, and I wanna work with you for a long time, right? Like I would ask them, how long were you working at your last company, right? So if they're working at the last company for a long or a short time, all right, well, why did you leave? You know, if it's something where it's not their fault and the employer had an issue, that's perfectly fine, that's good. If it's something where they start bad-mouthing the employer about how they weren't listening or how they weren't doing something, that's kind of a red flag for me, right? So the length of their jobs, of their previous jobs, is gonna determine to me if this person is gonna jump around or not, right? Like I want somebody that's looking for a full-time, looking for a long-term, and I wanna make sure that person is coachable, right? And the way I wanna make sure of that is I'm gonna ask them questions on how they do things and how they learn, right? Another really cool thing that I really like to do, which is kind of like a hidden gem, is I will do on a call, right? On a call, on an interview, I'll ask them just straight up, just, hey, can you do me a favor? Can you share your screen? And then just go into their computer. Not go into like any personal files, but I just wanna see their desktop, right? Based on their desktop, I could see exactly how organized this person is, right? If they got a desktop where it's like a million things and it's just like all over the place, no folders, no categories, no organization at all, you can imagine that's what their work is gonna look like in 3-6 months, whatever it is. That's what it's gonna look like, right? Now they show you their desktop and everything's neatly organized in folders, in right locations. Like that's amazing because that's a person that's organized. You reach out to them anytime and it's like, hey, I need that purchase order from that last invoice. Do you have it? Boom, they got you an invoice, they're organized. So that's something that's kind of like a hidden gem. Like a lot of people might take that the wrong way, but if you do that and you see a really organized desktop, that person's a keeper, right? So those are some of the things that you definitely want to look for on an interview. Now, the next step, once you get past the interview, is you're gonna want to train this virtual assistant because you want them to be with you for a long term. You don't want to train somebody and then have them quit or have them turn over, right? Now, if you have a team of people, you know, I would give like a basic training or like, hey, this is our company, this is what we do, this is how we operate, these are the team structures, right? And at a certain point, if you get big enough, you know, you're gonna want to document all this so that once you have somebody, you could just throw them into the doc and they can kind of just go through it and just find out more information about your company. I want to say like, you know, if you get to like 30 people or more, you may want to consider that. Anything less, it may not be as helpful, but that is something really important. So training is going to be a big thing because depending on how you train them, they're either going to get it or they're not going to get it, right? Based on your training, they're either going to perform, they're not going to perform. If you're giving them a training and it's not clear and they're not really sure where their key objective is, what their daily KPIs are, they're not going to be able to perform for you, right? So what's going to happen is time's going to pass, they're not going to be able to give you what you're looking for, and then you may get upset and then, you know, try to see, hey, what's going on? You're not performing. And the quick thing that usually people jump to is they fire. You know, this person, he sucks, let me just fire him. Yeah, we'll find somebody better, right? But the fact of the matter is, you know, it's a VA. You're not hiring an executive, right? It's a virtual assistant. So, you know, for a virtual assistant, you got to give them a process. You got to break it down and you just do 1, 2, 3. Now, if you find out in, you know, week, 2 weeks, a month, they're not doing step 2, they're just going 1 and 3. well, maybe there's something there. Maybe, you know, there's a reason why they're skipping that step. Maybe they're not able to access it. Maybe they're not able to get to it. Maybe there's a conflict with another department. So those are things that, you know, when you're training, you want to make sure you're giving them the right training, and that training is going to stick for the long term. So one of the key elements to having, you know, a good staff of people that just a good company culture, people that work together, is, you know, the way you communicate with your team, the way you train them, the way you communicate them, but also the way you know, you kind of keep track, you know, your KPIs, check in on things, make sure everything's going well, right? And I think the most important thing is, for me, like when I'm working with people, if something's not right, don't make any assumptions, right? Like, don't assume, you know, that the person sucks or the person's, you know, cheating you at hours or something like that, because, you know, those may very well be the case, but like, it's kind of like a downer, right? Like if you come at me with like some negative stuff, I may take it the wrong way, I may get upset, I may not, you know, like I may take it the wrong way, right? So don't assume, and instead try to reach out and see if you can help. So like, instead of saying, you know, hey, you failed to do your job, we're gonna have to make some changes, I would say, hey, is everything okay? Is there anything I can help with? You know, I noticed that some of these things aren't getting over to the other department. Is it something that I could jump in and help you with? And then oftentimes they'll let me know right now. Now, of course, this isn't always the case, because you do have some people that just take advantage, straight take advantage, don't show up for work. You know, they could be working multiple jobs. People that are taking advantage, just not good people, bad people, right? Like that's out there. But if you have somebody that's showing up for work, listening to your trainings, has a good work ethic, but for some reason they're not performing, I wouldn't assume that it's because they suck. I would ask questions, and then what you're gonna see is you're gonna get feedback from them. Based on that feedback, you can make adjustments in your KPIs or your SOPs, and you can make their job easier, right? So a lot of times I'll look into it and I see like, oh, well, you know, we missed a step in the SOP, and that's why you're not doing that altogether. So we just go ahead and, you know, revamp the SOP and change it, pass it back, and then now problem solved. And the person's still happy and they're motivated. They enjoy working with you because they know if they're gonna run into any issues, you're gonna reach out and you're gonna help them. So they enjoy coming to work, they enjoy working for you, and it just creates a great atmosphere, a good company culture. Now, in case you go through all that, but for some reason you're not able to find a VA, or you can't hire, or you just don't want to take the time, you know, we do have an agency and we have people that have been training with us, working with us. So at any point in time, just feel free to reach out to our guys. We got a lead magnet down below that'll give you guys 20 free hours. Just click on that. And if you know, worst comes to worst and you're having trouble linking up with people, just feel free to reach out, because we've got a whole team. You know, we've got hundreds of people that have been doing wholesale for a long time and can help you with your business. So feel free to reach out, and yeah, see you guys on the other side.
You guys see any value in the video you just saw? If so, hit the subscribe button right over here and make sure you click the bell to get notifications whenever we come out with new videos every Tuesday and Thursday, so you can continue to build your own FBA machine.